Let me ask you something that most men don't stop to consider. Why is it that even when a man has wisdom, emotional control, and the stability that only time can give, younger women still walk away? It's not about looks. It's not even about money. The uncomfortable truth is this: most older men lose the game, not because of their age, but because they play it wrong, and they don't even realize it. See, here's what's even more surprising. Psychological research, personal experience, even common sense all confirm it. Women are naturally drawn to older men, not just by 5 years, 10, 15, sometimes 20 or more. And I've seen it firsthand. I married a man over a decade older. My neighbor met her husband when she was just 24, and he was 25 years her senior. And I can't tell you how many women I know who have shared the same thing behind closed doors. There's something about an older man that just hits different when he carries himself right. But here's the problem: most men don't. They walk into the dating game with the advantage and throw it away in the first 5 minutes. They shrink. They hesitate. They self-sabotage with patterns that push women away on a subconscious level. And then they wonder why she ghosted them, why she used them, why it always ends the same way. Today, we're going to fix that. Because this isn't a surface-level video. This is a blueprint for reclaiming your masculine edge. And using it with calm precision, I'm going to show you the 4 silent mistakes that make older men look unattractive, even when everything else should be working in their favor. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to flip the dynamic entirely. Not by chasing, not by impressing, but by owning the power that was already yours before you gave it away. And trust me, when you do this right, you won't be the one chasing attention. She will be leaning in, trying to understand what makes you different from every other man. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a moment where you felt like you did everything right, but still lost her interest? Drop a comment below and share your story. You're not alone. And the patterns we're about to break down might explain exactly what went wrong. Let's get into it. Mistake 1: idolizing younger women. Let's start with the first and most common mistake older men make when dealing with younger women. You meet her. She's radiant, young, vibrant, full of energy, and suddenly you shrink. Not physically, but mentally. You start analyzing every word, every move. Your heart pounds. Your thoughts race. Don't mess this up. So, you play it safe. You smile too much. You nod too quickly. You try to be agreeable, respectful, non-threatening. You strip away any masculine tension because you don't want to be that creepy older guy. But in doing so, you become something even less attractive, the boring older guy. And here's where most men go wrong. They think women walk away because of the age gap. But the truth is, she walks away because your energy says you don't believe you're worthy of her. It's not your age that repels her. It's your self-doubt. You've placed her on a pedestal, as if her youth somehow elevates her above you, as if your years of life experience, strength, and earned wisdom suddenly mean nothing because she's pretty. But here's the paradox. The moment you treat her like she's better than you, she feels that imbalance and attraction. D's. Women are intuitive. They don't need you to say it out loud. They feel when you're overcompensating. They sense when you're trying too hard to deserve their attention. And nothing destroys masculine energy faster than the feeling that you're seeking approval. So what's the fix? You must normalize their beauty. Desensitize yourself to their youth. and stop acting like their attention is oxygen. The reason you panic isn't because she's that special. It's because, in your mind, you've made her rare. And anything rare creates pressure. So take that away. Put yourself in more interactions with younger women, not to chase them, but to recalibrate your nervous system, to get used to the presence of youth and beauty without folding. Talk to them. Flirt lightly. Hold eye contact. But most importantly, observe your energy. Ask yourself, am I still grounded when I'm around her, or do I shift my posture, my voice, my entire presence just to be liked? The man who changes to fit the moment is not in control. The man who remains rooted, he draws attention without asking for it. Remember this, the more you chase comfort, the more you kill attraction. Attraction needs polarity, tension, a slight unpredictability, not danger, but depth, not charm, but stillness. When you stop trying to be the perfect gentleman and start being the grounded man, she feels it. Because a woman can sense when a man is trying to be liked versus when he's simply being who he is. Unapologetically, you don't win her over by idolizing her. You win her respect by respecting yourself first. And that's the difference between being tolerated and being desired. Mistake 2, being ashamed of your age. Let's talk about a moment that catches more men off guard than they're willing to admit. She looks at you, smiles softly, and asks a simple question. How old are you? On the surface, it seems casual, innocent even. But inside, something shifts. You feel your heart drop, your posture tightens, and your mind races to calculate what she's really thinking. She just realized, I'm way older. Is this the moment she pulls away? Should I lie? Downplay it, joke it off. This is where most men collapse inward. Not because of the question, but because of the insecurity it exposes. You stumble through your answer. Maybe you stutter. Maybe you chuckle awkwardly. Maybe you say, I'm 47. Then quickly explain why you don't act like it, or why age is just a number. And right there, in that moment, she feels something she can't quite explain. She senses a crack in your energy. Not your age, but your relationship to your age. That's what repels her. It's not the number, it's the shame behind it. Women are perceptive. They read tone, posture, pauses, and eye contact faster than most men realize. You could say you're 38 and she'd still lose interest if you say it like you're apologizing for it. And you could say you're 52, but if you say it with presence, certainty, and groundedness, she'll lean in, not pull away. Here's the truth. A man who's ashamed of his age tells her without words, I don't think I'm good enough for you. I'm hoping you'll overlook this flaw. And no woman feels safe or attracted to a man who's negotiating his own worth. Now, let's flip the script. When she asks, how old are you? Pause. Look her in the eyes and own it. Not with arrogance, not with defensiveness, but with calm certainty. You can even add a touch of wit, not to deflect, but to show that your age doesn't shake you. Say something like, old enough to know what I want, young enough to enjoy it. Or let's just say, I've lived through enough mistakes to know how not to make the same ones twice. Or if you want to be playful, I'm ancient. But somehow, you're still sitting here smiling. The point isn't the joke. It's the energy behind it. You're not laughing nervously. You're not seeking permission. You're inviting her into your reality without hesitation. And if humor isn't your style, just state it. I'm 47. Then pause. let the silence settle, and move forward like it's nothing. Because to a confident man, it is nothing. When you treat your age like a problem, you teach her to see it as one, but when you treat it like a strength, like a badge earned through years of experience, failure, growth, you show her you're not here to prove yourself. You've already lived. You've already learned. You're not trying to impress her. You're letting her decide if she's ready to meet a man who knows who he is. And that's rare. You see, youth is common, but a man who owns his years, who doesn't shrink when asked about them, that man is magnetic. So here's your reminder: you don't need to defend your age. You don't need to explain it. You certainly don't need to joke it away. You just need to stand in it, like it's the most natural thing in the world, because it is. Time gave you edges. Time gave you calm. Time gave you perspective. And the right woman doesn't want you despite your age. She's intrigued because of it, so long as you don't give her a reason to doubt it. Mistake 3. Leading with money. Let's talk about one of the most common traps older men fall into, and they don't even realize they're doing it. It's subtle. It feels smart, but it's slowly killing attraction. It's when a man tries to impress a woman by leading with money. He thinks, if I show her I'm successful, she'll respect me. If I pay for everything, take her to upscale places, give her a taste of the good life, she'll choose me. But here's the hard truth. The moment a woman senses that your wealth is your main attraction, she mentally puts you in a box. And it's not a good one. You become the provider, not the man. You become the sponsor, not the spark. Because the moment you use money to win her attention, you reveal something else underneath. You don't actually believe you are enough. And a woman doesn't fall in love with a man who doubts his own worth. Here's what she hears, though you'll never say it out loud. I hope my lifestyle can distract you from the fact that I don't believe I'm desirable on my own. That's not confidence. That's compensation. And women feel it. They feel the energy behind the gesture. They can tell when you're giving from a place of abundance versus when you're giving from a place of fear. And even though it might work in the short term, the long term tells a different story. Because the kind of woman who stays for the dinners, the shopping trips, the luxury perks, isn't staying for you. She's staying for the benefits. And when the gifts slow down, so will her affection. Let me make this clear. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your success. You've earned it. You've built something. You should stand tall in that. But don't confuse success with leverage. Don't confuse wealth with worth. Real high-value men don't broadcast their status. They don't name-drop, brag, or list their assets in the first 10 minutes. They don't need to. Their presence speaks. Their stillness speaks louder. Think about it. Would a man truly secure in who he is need to lead with numbers, or would he let his character, his wisdom, and his energy do the work? The problem isn't the money. It's the need to prove something with it. If you talk about your trip to Italy because it changed you, great. If you mention your business because it reflects your passion, amazing. That's sharing. That's real. But if you're name-dropping your car, your watch, or your apartment in casual conversation, you're not impressing her. You're advertising yourself like a product. And quality women can smell that from a mile away. Here's what women actually remember. They remember how calm you were in silence, how deeply you listened, how you made her feel without ever needing to spend a dime. When she feels seen, not bought, that's when her attraction becomes real. So instead of leading with your wallet, lead with presence, with groundedness, with attention. Instead of trying to buy connection, become the connection. Because when a woman is drawn to you, not your lifestyle, that's when everything shifts. That's when she leans in closer. Not for what you can give, but for who you are when you're not giving anything at all. The man who doesn't try to impress ends up being the one she's most impressed by. Why? Because he values himself first. Because he knows what truly matters can't be purchased, only felt. And that kind of man, he doesn't chase admiration. He doesn't need applause. He simply is. And in a world full of noise, that silence is magnetic. Mistake 4, acting like a mentor instead of a romantic partner. There's a mistake that doesn't just reduce attraction, it erases it completely. And worse, it does it quietly. It doesn't come across as needy. It doesn't scream desperation. It feels kind, noble, even mature. But it puts you in a category from which most men never escape. It's when a man, especially an older man, tries to connect with a younger woman by being the mentor. He offers advice, support, wisdom, a listening ear. He doesn't flirt. He doesn't tease. He doesn't bring masculine tension into the space. Why? Because he believes being helpful will earn her affection. That if he proves he's reliable, trustworthy, and safe, she'll eventually see how great he is. He waits. He supports. He listens. And deep down, he hopes that one day she'll wake up and realize he's the one. But that moment never comes, because what he doesn't realize is this: every time he steps into the role of guide, he steps out of the role of man. She starts to view him not as a potential partner, but as a protector without passion, a supporter without spark, a friend, a brother, even a father figure. And once you've trained her subconscious to see you that way, it's almost impossible to reverse. By never introducing polarity, by never creating tension, by never letting your attraction be felt, you've led her into a world where you're safe, but not desirable. Then one day, you build up the courage. You tell her how you feel. You try to kiss her. You finally make your move. And she pulls back, confused, uncomfortable. She says, "I didn't know you felt that way." Because how could she? You never gave her a reason to imagine it. You hid your desire behind favor. You covered it with kindness. You replaced direct masculine energy with thoughtful advice. And now you're in a box you can't climb out of. Let's be clear about one thing. Desire is not logical. It's emotional. It's instinctual. It's primal. Desire is built on tension, contrast, polarity, masculine and feminine, stillness and movement, certainty and surrender. And when all you bring is emotional support but no edge, not challenge, no presence, you're offering peace but not passion. Now, don't misunderstand me. Kindness is not the problem. Support is not weakness. Wisdom is not unattractive. But when those things exist without desire, they create safety, not seduction. And women don't sleep with safety. They rest in it, but they don't chase it. Here's what most men forget. A woman can respect you and still not want you. She can trust you, yet never fantasize about you. Because admiration doesn't trigger arousal. Polarity does. So how do you avoid the mentor trap? From the beginning, you must show your masculine intent. Not in a crude way, not in an aggressive way, but in the way you hold eye contact. The way you let your silence say more than your words. The way your compliments carry weight. The way your presence lingers, even after you've walked away. Let her feel that you see her not just as a project to fix, but as a woman who draws your attention and your desire. This doesn't mean you can't support her. This doesn't mean you can't be kind. But it means you never let those gestures erase the truth of your presence. Because when you bury your attraction under endless helpfulness, you're not being selfless, you're being unclear. And women don't respond to confusion. They respond to clarity. You are not here to be her emotional bodyguard. You are not her unpaid therapist. You are not the wise elder sent to guide her through every decision. You are a man, and you are drawn to her. Let her feel that early. You don't have to announce it. You don't need pickup lines or bravado. Just don't hide it. Because when your energy says, "I want to be close, but I'm afraid to show it," she doesn't feel chemistry. She feels caution, and attraction never blooms in caution. Now, I know some men struggle with this. They ask, how do I show intent without being inappropriate? How do I flirt without being awkward? The answer is simple. You don't need to perform. You just need to stop suppressing what's already there. Presence is flirtation. Stillness is tension. Certainty is seductive. So next time you feel the urge to play it safe, to offer without polarity, to help without clarity, pause. Ask yourself, am I creating attraction, or am I earning approval? Because women don't chase approval, they chase presence. And the man who owns his presence owns the room. Before you go, remember this: you're not too old, you're not invisible, and you are definitely not out of the game. You've simply been playing by rules that were never made for men like you. But now you know better. These 4 habits, they've been quietly pushing women away without you even realizing it. But the moment you drop them, everything shifts. Because when you show up as the calm, grounded, unapologetic man you truly are, she feels it. She sees it. She responds to it, not because you chase, not because you try, but because you radiate certainty. If this message resonated with you, drop a comment below. Let us know which mistake hit the hardest or what changes you're making starting today. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to The Stoic Spirit, and share this with a brother who needs to hear it. You were never the problem. You just needed a reminder. Now walk back into the world with clarity, composure, and quiet power.